Hello boys and girls, it's me, Miss Elena again. How are you today? I hope you're doing great. I feel very happy today because it's time for science. And today we're speaking about my favorite subject in the world, animals. Do you like animals? I know you do. This video lesson is a follow-up lesson. What does it mean? It means that we're going to go back a little bit, catch up if you're lost, summarize everything we learned so far, and of course, since it's science in English, revise some vocabulary. New words that we learned and some old words that are perhaps a little bit tricky. First things first, we have been talking about vertebrates and invertebrates. Those words are very tricky. First of all, because they are long. What do they mean? They mean skeleton. With the skeleton that we have, we humans, we mammals, with a backbone, or some other kind of skeleton, which is called exoskeleton. What is the difference? Did you understand? Let's go back and revise. Let me take my phone, this one, with a frog, which is an amphibian, who have normal skeleton with a backbone, but let's talk later about it. Let's see. What is this? A pirate flag, isn't it? It is. And a pirate flag has bones on it. Bones. Bones. Bone, a word with a magic E, right? It ends with E. Bones. Bones and a skull, of course. Well, what are those bones? It's something hard that we have inside our body. To remember the words hard and soft. My cup is hard, and so are our bones. They are hard, not soft like this. Hard. Let me show you a human skeleton. Here we go. This is a human skeleton. You've seen it many times in all of our books. And if you had a look in Quarta A and Quinta A, there are always those big skeletons on the wall, the drawings that the students made. This is something that we see often, especially during Halloween. But what about this? This is also a skeleton, but it's a skeleton of a cat. It's a cat. Cats have bones inside them as well. Skeleton with a backbone. The bone, the long one in our back, the segments which construct our back, it's a backbone. Whoa, this one looks spooky. What is it? It is also a skeleton. What animal is it? It's a snake. Snake has bones with a backbone as well. Do you remember what group of animals is snake? That's right, it's a reptile. Very good. All of those animals have bones and skeletons just like us humans. What does it mean? It means they can be all grouped together and under the name vertebrate animals, or simply vertebrates. Do you remember this scheme? Do you remember this one? Vertebrates and invertebrates. Those are vertebrates. Animals with a backbone that we know very well. There are mammals, just like you and me. Or maybe a goat. Or maybe a horse. Or maybe a little hamster. Not only mammals have backbones, also birds, like this cute little chicken. But very different animals have backbones as well. Who's this? It's a fish. I made it from a glove. That's a cute little fish. Fish have backbones as well. I don't have any toy reptiles at home, but I have this dinosaur, which is sort of a reptile. Not exactly, but a very close relative. Reptiles, and of course dinosaurs, as we know from fossils, have backbones, used to have. Dinosaurs used to have backbones, and reptiles have backbones. All right, here we go. Amphibians, like a frog I just showed you, also have bones and a normal skeleton. That's why all of them are vertebrates. They have one very important thing in common. What about the rest of them? What about the rest of them? There are so many animals on our planet which are called invertebrates and don't have a backbone. There's plenty of them. We're going to speak about most of them next year. Next year, in the future. Today, I want to go back to those ones. Arthropods. Arthropods. Arthropods is a big group of invertebrates, which includes arachnids or spiders, crustaceans, those with a thick shell, insects, that's easy, and, oh my goodness, I don't want to look, myriapods, those with a billion gazillion legs. Well, there are less than that, but it seems like there are way too many legs. Who needs so many legs? Stop it. Anyway, today I want to talk to you a little bit more about those arachnids, crustaceans, and insects. I know that you covered the topic of insects last year. We're going to refreshen it just a little bit. Let me put this one here. Here. All right. Here we go. So, spiders. How do we know it's a spider? A spider always has 8 legs. 8 legs. It has a mouth and eyes. And also, it's very scary and nasty. What about the legs of the insects? How do we know if we see an insect? Insect always has 6 legs. 6 legs. Antennae, 2 eyes, and a mouth. What about the crustaceans, the ones with a hard shell? How do we know it's a crustacean? First off, we often eat them. Seafood, frutti di mare, are full of crustaceans. Those with a thicker shell are called crustaceans. They normally have 8 or 10 legs, and they also have claws sometimes. Claws are also called pincers or pinchers. Pincers is something that pinches. Pinch, ouch! Pinch, ouch! This is called a pincer. They use it to catch food. That's what it's for. Speaking of food, what kind of groups do you know amongst the animals which tell us something about the things they eat? Eat. What do they eat? All the creatures in the world eat something. I know for a fact that this fellow over here is a carnivore. Carnivore, from carne, means this one eats meat, which means it eats other animals. Carnivore. What about the herbivores? What do they eat? That's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Herb, herba, is all things green which grow, such as seaweed for those that live inside the sea, or maybe the leaves from the trees, or the grass, flowers, any plant possible. That's why they're called herbivores. And of course, there are omnivores. Omni means everything. Omnivores or omnivorous animals eat anything. And guess what? Crustaceans, such as lobsters, crabs, or maybe they don't only live inside the sea. There are also scorpions. Those animals are omnivores. They eat what they find. It doesn't matter for them. All right, let's move on. Let's speak about parts of the body of the anthropods. Let's have a look at them. Here is a cute little butterfly. I didn't want to draw something scary. All of them have 3 parts of the body in common. Not all of them have antennae. Not all of anthropods have wings. Not all of the anthropods have different number of legs. And definitely not all of them have claws or pinchers. But all the anthropods have a head, a thorax. Thorax is a very difficult word. It's very scientific. Thorax is basically the same as torso. Torso, which means the body basically between the leg, like this. Let me show you. This part from here to here is a torso. Torso. And of course, below torso, there's an abdomen. Abdomen. You heard the word abdominali. That's the same thing. Abdomen. Here we go. Thorax, head, abdomen. Thorax is a new word for us. Let me pinch it here. There we go. All right, now I want to show you something very important that all of those have in common. Spiders, insects, crustaceans, and even those myriapods with 1 gazillion legs. They all have a very special kind of skeleton. You see, they need to be flexible, but they also need to be protected. They need their flesh to be protected, hidden from the dangerous things that they meet in the world. For that, they need an exoskeleton. What does it mean? You see, those animals have a skeleton which grows not only inside, but also outside. Not inside, outside. Let me show you a picture of an exoskeleton of an animal that you all know very well, because it's very delicious. We eat that animal. Have a look. Do you recognize the animal from the skeleton? I think you do. Have a closer look. This is a shrimp. Shrimp. Gambero. Shrimp. Have a look. Its skeleton is not only internal, it is also external. This kind of skeleton is called exoskeleton. Exoskeleton, the one that protects the animal from the dangers of the world outside, on the external part of the body. This is what all of those have in common. Here we go. Now I would like to do some revision on the vocabulary. For this, watch my next video. In my next video, we are going to revise the vocabulary and check your homework together. So prepare this. Take a red pen or a pencil and get ready to make some corrections if you need. See ya!